Australia continues to descend into tyranny under the power trip they call COVID control. Two of Australia's most populous states, New South Wales and Victoria, have tried facial recognition apps, which allows the government to check if residents are at home during the COVID-19 quarantine. One Australian premier has completely banned the unvaccinated from participating in everyday society and is forcing state police officers to arrest innocent people, sometimes aggressively, just because they're not wearing a mask in public. At what cost does all this come? The Australian state of Victoria reported a more than 50% jump in daily COVID cases, and the government is quick to blame people who breach pandemic regulations simply because they want to live their lives. It's unbelievable. Joining me now is Nick Adams, founder and CEO of the Foundation for Liberty and American Greatness. He is also an Aussie by birth, and he is with us now. Nick, good to see you.
Good to see you, Buck.
People in this country see what's going on in Australia and think, how is it possible that the country that we thought of as a warmer UK with friendlier people has turned into East Germany with koalas? What do you say?
Buck, as someone that was born there, raised there, lived there for the first 32 years of my life, I've got to be honest with you, nothing that is currently occurring in Australia surprises me in the slightest, nor anybody that I know that lives there. This is what Australia does. Anyone that's tried to visit Australia will know that if you bring in the wrong kind of fruit or the wrong kind of nut, you may as well bring in a kilo of cocaine. You're going to get treated like a Colombian drug dealer. It's kind of the way that Australia does things. It's an island nation. It leans socialist. It's got its origins as a penal colony, which means that it believes in very tough enforcement, very strict rules. It's bred a culture of compliance among its people. I think the only thing that this has really done is open up the eyes of the rest of the world to see that the international perception of Australia is actually dramatically different to the domestic reality.
How bad is it there when you talk to friends and family that you know back in Australia, Nick? I mean, are they appalled by this? Are they saying, okay, well, it's just temporary? I mean, what's the sentiment among people that you know when it comes to a country that right now, it seems, has even more extreme lockdown measures than communist China?
It does. Certainly without a doubt. Right now, the old Soviet Union, communist China has got more, the people of those places got more freedom than the people of Australia. I think it's a hybrid of the two, Buck. I think that there are a lot of people that I've spoken to that are extraordinarily frustrated with everything. In Sydney, where most of my clan comes from, they've been in lockdown since late June, so it's been a long time. So they're very frustrated with what's going on. I think, though, the prevailing sentiment beneath the frustration is that this is a temporary surrender of liberty in order to get what they might consider a good public outcome, and that things will go back to normal once I don't know, the vaccine levels have reached a certain point or whatever it is. I'm certainly not offering any kind of a defence, but just to give your viewers and listeners a little bit of an idea of the mentality of Australians, I think that that's probably what's going through their minds, that this is an event, a pandemic that has necessitated a surrender of personal liberty for a certain period of time, and they've just got to do it. It's the same kind of idea, Buck. When I was 11 and a half years old in 1996, the government imposed some of the most cumbersome and strict gun laws in the world ever. And everyday Australians, as part of a gun buyback scheme, unquestioningly went and handed in voluntarily their firearms to the local police station. So it's kind of the same idea. They think that in the interests of public safety and the greater collective good, these individual surrenders of liberty are necessary.